Imagine your neighbors, the people you share a fence with, are secretly part of a scheme that's costing you money and controlling your life. We've peeled back the layers of neighborhood politics to find a startling truth. Many of your fellow residents are complicit, either knowingly or unknowingly, in your HOA's overreach. They might be the ones reporting your every minor infraction, voting for fee hikes that benefit a select few, and silencing dissent at community meetings. You might be living next to the very people enforcing the board's shady agenda. We're about to unearth the backroom machinations and expose how seemingly ordinary neighbors become pawns or even active players in the HOA's power games. Through secretive deals, questionable bylaw enforcement, and a culture of us versus them, HOA boards leverage this division to profit, often at your expense. We'll reveal the insidious tactics they use, from manipulating property values through selective enforcement to imposing arbitrary fees that fund their pet projects. It's a startling look at how community can be turned against itself, with residents unknowingly complicit in their own financial and personal exploitation. We will show you precisely how your neighbors might be selling you out, and more importantly, what you can do to reclaim your community from this internal strife. The power dynamics of your neighborhood are more complex and potentially more corrupt than you could ever imagine, and it's time to bring these hidden alliances into the light. The fight for your home starts not just with the board, but with understanding the battle lines drawn right on your street. The first step in reclaiming your community is to demand absolute and unwavering transparency. This isn't just about asking nicely for meeting minutes. It's about a relentless pursuit of information. Your governing documents are your primary weapon. Read your covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC and RS, and bylaws from cover to cover. Know them better than the board does. These documents outline the board's responsibilities and, crucially, its limitations. When you can quote the specific article that a board action violates, you shift from being a complaining resident to an informed advocate. Submit formal written requests for financial records, including detailed expense reports, vendor contracts, and bank statements. Don't accept vague summaries. Demand itemized breakdowns. If they claim a contract with a landscaping or management company is confidential, challenge them. In most jurisdictions, these are community records you have a legal right to inspect. Document every single request and every response, or lack thereof. Create a paper trail that is undeniable. This systematic demand for information is the bedrock of accountability. It forces the board out of the shadows and into the harsh light of scrutiny, making it significantly harder for them to hide their backroom deals and questionable expenditures. Once you've armed yourself with information, you must explore both legal and community-based avenues to challenge the board's questionable decisions. On the legal front, a well-worded cease and desist letter from an attorney specializing in HOA law can work wonders. Often, the mere threat of litigation is enough to make a rogue board reconsider its actions, especially when they realize the community's your funds would be used to defend their poor choices. If a decision clearly violates the governing documents or state law, such as imposing a special assessment without the required homeowner vote, you may have grounds for a lawsuit. This can be a costly and lengthy process, so it's often a last resort, but it is a powerful tool. Simultaneously, you must master the art of community organizing. A single dissenting voice is easily dismissed as a troublemaker, but a chorus of voices is a political force. Start by talking to your neighbors, not to gossip, but to listen. You will likely find that your frustrations are not unique. Create a private social media group or an email list to share information securely, away from the prying eyes of the board or their allies. Organize small, informal meetings in your home or a local park to discuss strategy. The goal is to build a coalition. When you attend the next HOA meeting, don't go alone. Arrive with a group of informed, prepared residents. Instead of a scattered series of individual complaints, present a unified, organized front. Designate speakers to address specific issues, armed with facts, figures, and references to the governing documents. This coordinated approach transforms a chaotic complaint session into a powerful demonstration of resident unity and resolve, showing the board that they are no longer dealing with isolated individuals, but with a formidable and organized opposition. The most critical element in this fight is identifying and uniting with like-minded residents. Corruption and overreach thrive in an environment of isolation, where each homeowner feels like they are alone in their struggle. Your mission is to shatter that isolation. Start by paying close attention at HOA meetings. Who else is asking tough questions? Who gets cut off by the board president? Who voices frustration over the same issues that concern you? These are your potential allies. After the meeting, approach them. Don't just vent. Suggest a follow-up conversation. Exchange contact information and propose a small, informal get-together. Building this united front requires trust and a shared vision. When you connect with these fellow residents, focus on common ground. Perhaps everyone is upset about a sudden spike in fees, the opaque bidding process for a new contractor, or the board's selective enforcement of petty rules. Frame the issue not as a personal grievance, but as a community-wide problem that affects everyone's property values and quality of life. Create a simple one-page flyer that clearly outlines the key issues and provides a call to action, whether it is signing a petition, attending the next meeting en masse, or contributing to a legal fund. Distribute it discreetly. By identifying these kindred spirits and methodically building a coalition, you transform isolated sparks of dissent into a powerful flame. This united front becomes the engine for change, capable of recalling board members, overturning unjust rules, and ultimately restoring fairness and accountability to the community you all call home. You might feel like you're fighting a lonely battle right now, but your allies are out there, waiting for someone to bring them together. You now see the intricate web of deceit and manipulation that can turn a community against itself. We've shown you how boards leverage secrecy and division, and how your neighbors can become cogs in this machine. But we've also laid out the blueprint for a revolution. By demanding transparency, organizing your fellow residents, and challenging the board through both community pressure and legal action, you hold the power to dismantle their shady schemes. The path to reclaiming your neighborhood begins not with anger, but with action. You have the strategies to fight back and restore integrity to your community. This is your call to arms.